Okay, it's just hit 20 past 9 on the 14th of the 10th. I'm just doing a live recording of the way I navigate around the sheets for the Hong Kong meeting on the 14th of the 10th. Okay, so what I'm doing, I'm not recording the wins tonight. What I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to make everybody aware of how I look at the sheets and what I am thinking when I am navigating around the sheets. Look and understand how what I'm thinking and what goes on with the sheets. Now, as you can see, we had race one that just went it's just closed. Okay, now on the sheet we had the four, which was Fox Chung. Sometimes I don't even know their names. All I go off is the number. And then we had number 5, Fantastic Fabio. We had the 1. We had Kwai Chung Eli, and we had Target Finder. Now, with this particular race, let's just talk about what would have happened had, well, most people are betting right now as we speak. So I'm just going to go through what happens race by race and simulate exactly the thought process that goes through, a race by race meeting and when we've got sheets going. Okay, so with this particular race, obviously Fox, the 4, we had it as a sub runner. We wanted 440. It was never going to hit 440, so obviously we don't include it. We had Fantastic Fabio rated at 490, 1.02 units. And as you can see across the board, this thing hit $5, 480. So it definitely hit price. It came, pretty much to our rated price. So as you can see, the pot was 97%, which is what we're looking for. And then we had the 9, which was Kwai Chung Eli. We had rated 10.15, and as you can see here, it hit 14 to 1. It hit, so that was fine. And then we had number the 1, which was the 7. That was well over minimum rated price. And then we had the 12. And the 12 was obviously 10.50, and it hit 19 to 1. So right then, it's a bet. Now, let's just say there was a scenario where the 4 had hit 440 and the 6 was $3. Then obviously we just flip it. What we do is we dropped the 6 and we instantly put the 4 in. Now, what happened in this particular race was the top pick had won, as you can see, that's just come up now. There's the results there. Okay, I mean, this is live. We got first, second, and so we had the Quinella in the race. So, I mean, you're looking now at whatever units. We had 1.2 units. It paid $4.95. We outlaid 2.53. So we're up to, 2.5 units, whatever it is. So that's what goes through my mind. I usually start looking at the prices. I start at Hong Kong. I start looking anywhere between about 15 minutes out. I start tracking it. I have an inbuilt system on my database that starts looking at all the trading and it starts looking at where all the money's going with all the corporate bookmakers. Obviously, it would be ideal if we had Betfair, but we don't have Betfair. So what I do is I still go in and I still have a look. These blokes here are all betting with each other as well. So just so you know, when people talk about traders and what the traders are doing, trust me, it's all these guys. They're all betting within each other. Okay, we're 6 minutes out from Happy Valley Race 2, and I just want to go over what's about to unfold and where I'm at with this particular race. So we're just going to quickly have a quick look at it. Okay, so in this particular race we have the 4, which was rated at 10.30, so that's a matched price. We've got, I know this particular race was a bit of a mess when I did the sheet this morning, so okay, so bear with me. So we've got number the 6 Royal Racer, which is a match. Okay, we've also got number 7, which is we'll get that rate at 9.55, and it's a match. We've also got number 9, which is a match, is at 6.15. And we've got this number 11, which is a sub runner. Now, it's very unusual when I've got 5 picks in a race. Usually I've got 4 picks and 1 sub, or just 4 picks. So what this is telling me now, it's actually giving me a red light to say, King, you know what? This is going to be a tricky race. Now, I'm not I don't like these type of races. I mean, and I'm not fussed because that pot is too low. I've got five. I've got actually one, two, three, four, five. The 11 I'd say is a six runner, but it's actually for me it's not. So I'm outlaying 3 units. Okay, now when I look at this type of race, okay, I need to get big overs. I need to see some big serious prices going on here, okay, and I'm not seeing it. Like the six is rated at, I got rated at 580. Now I don't know what's going on, but that's not a good price for me. So when I look at the seven, okay, I go, what price are you? Well, you're 955. Well, I would say that's a nice over. All right, and then when you got the eight, I look at the eight, I go, well, there's 1350 there. That's a decent price, so we're well over that. And then we look at the nine. Now again, okay, two of my picks are basically hovering around the exact same price that I've got them rated at. Now in this particular race, what I do here, I pass. All right, now you're going to say, oh, why would you do that? Because that pot is just too low for me. I want more for the six and I want more for the nine. All right, so if we are betting on this particular race and we were sitting here live, and this is what goes through my mind. As I said, you got to be flexible. Now, you see here this number 9 is 750 now. You'll go, oh, well, that's well overpriced. I still don't like the race. When I've got more than 4 or 5 picks in a race, because also I'm taking on the 2, I'm taking on the 5, all right, and they've got some hope, but I don't like the race. So in this instance, pass on the race. That's the best way for it. If that pot was 90% and I had all those picks, yes, but it's just too much. I want to see more money for the 6 and the 9, despite the fact that the 9's just hit 750 with Sportsbet. And also that's another reason why I don't like the race, because I think now that 9 can't win. All right, the betting suggests to me that why are they offering $7? Why is this thing blowing? Now, I know it sounds like, oh, well, that's what you want, but in this particular race, it's not what I want to see, especially in Hong Kong. So I would pass on this race. So if I was sitting here navigating and I was live, which I am live, but there's nothing getting recorded tonight. So I'm not going to record whatever happens here. But in future, when you see a race like that, we need to see more money on these runners, on the 6, on the 9, and also that pot's just too low to have 5 picks. You're basically looking for a bet here, so just pass. There's no need to bet on every race. We've got the first winner up. We're fine with that. We move on to the next race. So that's what's going through my mind when I'm looking at this. And also, I also have the benefit of understanding how the markets are working at the moment, and I just don't like the race. I think the winner out of this race is going to be either the 5, the 2, or the 6. Now the 6 is on the sheet, big deal. All right, I want, if that 6 was $8-9, I'd be going in for it. All right, and if this thing here was $8-9, I would also go in for it. Okay, I want more money on my runners that I've got when I've got a low pot. So again, I go race by race and I make a decision race by race. I don't make a decision, I don't plan this out and go, these are the betting races. There's some races where I might think, oh, this is a bad betting race. Come 5 minutes out or 10 minutes out, I'll decide, well, you know what, this is now becoming a good betting race. So this is where you can't be rigid. You need to actually look at the race itself, sit here, follow the markets, see what the markets are doing, and then say to yourself, right, I'm going to bet in this race. So when I'm not navigating, these are the decisions that you have to make yourself, and you got to make them fast, because any decision that you make now, okay, could affect what your whole mood for the night. So if you pull the wrong rein, okay, and you lose, and you cost yourself 7 or 8 units, it will really annoy you throughout the night. So this thing's also a mental thing, where you don't want things that are clouding your judgment. Now, as I look over, the rain started at Happy Valley. Now, that's one thing that everybody doesn't take into the account. Hong Kong, all right, especially at the start of the season where they've still got warm weather, they get a lot of heavy downpours, and it affects that track big time. So please always take note of what's doing over there. Look, this sounds odd. I look at the wind. I look at everything. Most pro punters look at, I get wind reports. I look at so many factors when I'm making these decisions. So, and look, as you can see, while I've been sitting here, look how quick these markets turn. Look at that. That's now gone to $7 all across the board. This is the runner that they want, in my opinion, and this is the runner that they want. So the race, they're loading up in the barriers as we speak. So I'll be interested to see what happens here. I won't go silent on the race, but what I'll do when I go to re-record the actual race, I'll tell you what the outcome was. But when you see a situation like that, please just pass. When in doubt, pull out. That's always been my motto. All right, especially with these low pot races. The lower that pot is, all right, you'd be guaranteed for sure that we've either got the runners in the market, okay, or we're taking on a few runners that are in the market. And in this particular instance, we've got 4 runners we're taking on 2 runners, and we've got 2 runners in the market. So the 5 are the ones that we've dropped clearly, and we've got to beat them. And we're not beating them much by taking these low prices. You know, as you can look at this thing's gone out to 650. You know, so it's still not enough for me to take them and take on these other the ones that they clearly want. Now, in our sheets, we can actually adjust the prices live as we're going. So if you obviously, you know, I've enabled the editing with this thing, but you could see here that you have the ability to do that, and then it'll give you, you know, a live betting calculator. So please, if anyone's got any questions, any dramas with all that, always email us. Please let me know. Right, we're all in this to try to win money, everyone. We're not in this to for any other reason. You know, we all love to punt, and we all just want to win money. So at the moment, as I said, because this is live, I'll give you the results. The results should be coming through in about 30 seconds. I can tell you now that the 9 is leading with the what's this? The 8's coming thing. So just bear with me for a moment, and I'll just keep talking while the race is going. The reason why I want to go and talk while the race is going is I want to get the result, and I want to go over, you know, how the markets work and why I say what I say in this particular race. So what's going on here? It looks like this 9, and here it comes down the outside. Yeah, well, there you go. Well, the 2's won, and that's the one that I thought we had to beat. And the 2 and the 5 ran second and first and second. You see, when I'm looking at these markets, I need to see, when I see things like this, 270, and across the board like that, this thing here, it's sat on 440. I mean, they backed in from $7 into 4 thing, but then for the last half an hour, 40 minutes, it did not budge. So this was clearly the one that they wanted, okay? And that's why it's very important to sit here and read what the markets are doing. And that's why you got to look at this, look who we dropped, okay? And I actually wrote here, these runners on top, race was difficult. The race was difficult because I had dropped the 2 and the 5, the 2 and the 5 ended up fighting it out first and second. So it's important to understand also how the markets work. And again, when I saw that, and when I saw this thing sitting at 340, 370, and when I saw this thing across the board, I said, and the pot, just the board on the race. When in doubt, pull out. Okay, I'm going to quickly go and have a look at Happy Valley Race 3. The race is closed, and I just want to quickly go over the race before it actually starts and goes, whatever the outcome is. Now, this particular race, it's a decent betting race. It's 134% pot, and these are the type of races where we traditionally get big fill-ups. Okay, now as you can see here, we've got the 3 Bullish Brother. We've got it rated at 690, and we've got it at 0.72, and we've got 15, 14. We've got 15 to 1 over here. So we've got well over minimum rated price. We've got Whiskey Nil, which is an emergency, so we can't back it. Well, we can't back. We've got Fearless Fire, which is 740. We've got 950, so that's a match. We've got Supreme Plus. That's well and truly a match. And we've got number 12. So that's a big pot. Now, what generally happens with these type of races is that I look at who we're trying to beat. We're trying to beat obviously the 4, which is a sub runner, and we've got the 10. And as that's just happened, guys, have a look who's just won the race. Bullish Brother. So it's at 7. We got 17 to 1 for it. Again, I'm doing this live, and I just want to let everybody know that the sheets themselves, they are potent in Hong Kong. Now tonight, I probably pulled the wrong rein, and because when I did the sheet, I had too many sub runners and I had too many runners that I was really, really worried about. Now, again, I keep saying this, when I pull out of a meeting, it's not something that I do lightly, but history tells me and the data tells me when we've taken on way too many runners, it's probably best to abort or pull out. At the moment, where I think we're 2 from 3, whatever we are, I don't know, I'm not even really taking that much notice of it. But as you can see, okay, we went over race 2 before, and I said to you it was a no-bet race because of that low pot, okay? These are the races where you can see 97% pot, it's a good, decent, and we got that winner. 63% pot, we're betting against way too many runners, and we've got too many runners that I think that are in the market, and I don't like that. Now then we go over the race 3, and you see here in race 3 that we've got a really decent sized pot. We're only, in my eyes, we're only taking on the 4. Okay, yeah, I think we dropped also number 10, but it just never rated, so it's not on the sheet, so I wasn't that overly concerned about it. If I'd mentioned it, then I know, well, there's a big a problem with it. But this is what I go race by race. I check and I see, okay, where are the big overlays? And as you can see, that was a massive overlay. All right, so we had 0.72 units on a runner that was 17 to 1. Huge fill up, and that's what we're after. Now, when we quickly go over the race 4, well, again we've got another, we've got 109% pot. All right, and read the notes. Note these runners on top dropped 4, 6, and 10. These all 3 are big concerns. So the race is a mess. Market watch, please. 1 is the sub runner. So now, okay, we look at that pot. It's 109%. But now we're taking on 4 runners. You see how when I say it's race by race, and you've got to look at race by race. Now we're taking on 4 runners. Now these are type of races. Yes, it's a great betting. It's a great pot. Fantastic. That's what we want to see. But already where I'm looking at the early markets. Number 2 is $10.90. We've got, it's 19 to 1. You can see over there. Number 7 is we've got it rated at 12.20. It's 15, 19 to 1. That's fine. Number 8, we've got it rated at $5.90. Well, now we can get $6. So we've got its price. $6. Well, this thing's got 480 there, but we're thereabouts. 420, 480. So if we were betting early and I was betting it, I'd probably be taking that now, or I'd be waiting, or even half staking for now. So take the $6 and just sit on that $6, half stake it, and then sit. What you want to do is you want to obviously to blow out to a better price, but it's a big pot, so we're okay with that. And then we've got number 12, which is 755. Now, these type of races, I watch the markets heavily. Now, why I watch the markets heavily is I need to see the runners that I'm concerned about. The 4, the 6, and the 10. What are they doing? What are the markets telling me they're doing? We're at the moment, we're 19 minutes out from race. Okay, at the moment, the markets are suggesting that this 4's still on. This 6 is definitely still on. When I see that across the board, $4.80, $4.85, when I know a horse is being laid on or they're going off on it, there's inconsistencies with the corporate bookmakers. This thing might have it at $4.80. This thing might have it at $6.50. So they're enticing you that some of the lower, when I say the lower advertised corporate bookmakers, they'll always give you more money than say the big betting ones like Bet365, Lads, Top Sports, whatever that That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking to see what are the runners that we're trying to beat. What are they doing in the markets? And then we've got the 10, and that at the moment it's still on. So at the moment, for me, it's still a betting race, but closer before jump, I want to see what these 3 runners are still doing. Sometimes I've been known to abort on a big pot race because I'm looking at it and I'm going, I literally need to, I need to beat the 1, the 4, and the 10. The 1's a sub runner, and at the moment it's well under minimum rated price. So I can't take the 1, and despite the fact that it's a big pot, all right, we just need to be careful. And these are the things that you need to look out for when you're sitting here on your own. This is what goes through my mind, But for argument's sake, where it's only a 2.38 unit outlay for a big return, so it'd probably more than likely be a betting race. But there are some times where, like I said, I have aborted from those type of races. We quickly go over to race 5. Again, we've got a big pot. Meeting's become another bin job. There are just way too many runners dropped and way too many runners aligned with our ratings. I do not like this one bit. So obviously I've already pinpointed the fact that this meeting is going to be extremely difficult. And you can see here that I've got, in this particular race, I've got the 1, I've got the 5, the 1's a sub runner, so, and there you go. We wanted 405 and its favourite, it's 245. So I've already got to take on the 1. So here we've got the 5, the 6, the 7 and the 8. Now when I look at these prices, I go, right, what are we at with the 5? We've got 18.50, it's $31. So mind you, this is a long way out. This is, almost 45 minutes away from jump. Then we've got the 6, that's well over minimum rated price. So the 5 and 6 are just obviously big blowers. And then the 7 and the 8. The 7 and the 8, well, the 8 at the moment, if we were backing it, well, the 8's there. So these, I've got to, in this race here, this is what I call a decent betting race, because of my main danger is basically the 1. Okay, that's the one that I think. I know the 4's $5. I wasn't concerned about the 4 because when I did the ratings on it, I know the horse as well. Most of these horses I know them intimately because I've been doing South Africa. I've been doing Hong Kong for such a long time that I know them, and they're what I call the usual suspects. They're class 3, class 4 horses. They're in and out of their classes. So again, these are the type of races I like to call them as a fill up, because in my eyes I only have to beat the 1 here. That's how I'm seeing it. I've got the 7 and the 8, and they're well in the market. They're the type of runners that I like, and then obviously I've got the 2 big roughies, what I call them. Okay, so we go quickly to race 6. Okay, and what do we got here? We've got again another situation where we've got a 65% pot, and this is a no-go zone for me now. As I said in race 2, I need to see big prices on the runners that we have, because we're taking on a few runners here. Like we're taking on the 4, which was dropped. It's an emergency runner. But so here we've got the 5. It's well over price. We've got the 8 at the moment. It's well. I mean, as I said, this is an hour and a half before the race. But these are the things that I go ahead and I look. I start looking what are the markets doing. Sometimes they go off early. Sometimes you got to have a look at these things really early. And you look at the 8. It's 550 at the moment. I've got it rated at 550, and it's thereabouts, so that's fine. So come closer to jump, and then you got the things. So as you can see, the runners that I have in the market, they're still hovering around those prices, which I need them to be well over minimum rated price. I don't like this pot; it's too low. I need these runners to be well over price, and then I'm worried about the 4. And I'm also worried about the 1. So I've got to now beat 2 horses that I think can win the race. So that's why you need to make sure that when I say you need to be price sensitive, you do need to be price sensitive on all these runners. You don't want to be taking on these good well-rated runners. All right, when you're just getting price. If I've got a horse rated at $6, you want it at around $7. If I've got a horse rated at $8, you want it at around $9.50. You want them obviously at a higher rate, of course. So again, I make the call just before jump. 5 minutes out, I'll say right bet or no bet or whatever I decide at the moment. But at the moment, if this was 5 minutes out and I saw those prices, I'd probably abort on this race, because I just need to see better prices on them. And you don't win that much money on these low 65% pot races. Look, I know guys that bet on races as low as 33%, 40%, but I don't do that. 65% is my cutoff point. Okay, occasionally I might go down to 58 or 59, but that's occasionally. It's very rare that I usually go down that low, because then you keep lowering the bar, and then all of a sudden you're not making, when you do win a race, you're not getting that big of a fill up. You want the fat. That's what you want. You want the bigger units, so then you can absorb the losses. When you can win 25 units in a meeting, all right, you need those big fill up nights or days, whatever they are, so you can absorb some of these losses that that do happen. Okay, so we quickly go to race 7. Okay, That's what I call a above average pot. You look at, we've got all the runners here matched, 633, who we got. I don't think we've got an emergency runner in here, which is okay. We've got 5 runners and we've got a 77% pot race. Then we've got the 8, okay, it's well over price, and we've got the 9, that's well over price, and we've got the 11, that's well over price, and we've got the 12. So this is what I call another decent betting race as far as the pot's concerned. If you read my notes, note these runners on top. Median's a big time red alert. We are dropping too many runners, and percentages tell me careful here. Yeah, well, obviously, because in this particular race, I know that we did. I dropped the 3. I dropped the 4. I also dropped the 1. So I'm taking on 3 or 4 runners. So, but the good thing about it is that we've got a high pot, so it's okay. Again, you have to follow the markets. The probability when you're taking on so many runners is when you've got a low pot, well then you shouldn't really be betting. But when you've got a pot at that size, and because all these runners are well overpriced, well then you bet. Okay, and that's what you have to do. So you go to race 8. This is the reason tonight why I decided to actually abort the meeting, because I had too many of these races. 66%. There was 1 there. That's 2 there. There's 3 there. So when I've got 3 races, and plus when I'm dropping a little bit too many runners for my liking, I don't like it. It's just how I am. That's just the way I operate. I like to be more conservative than to be, really aggressive. Okay, so the question's been asked to me, well then why don't you just bet in those races with the high and leave these races alone? Because sometimes you do get these runners to be over minimum. You get you might have a horse rated at 5.8, you might get $9. So you have to go race by race, and this is the reason why I can't. When people do ask me that question, I go, well, sometimes you do get a situation like, we might have a race at race 7 and all these runners are 65% pot, yes, but we might have big overs on all of them, and you bet. Okay, and that's what you do. That's why I keep saying race by race, go race by race. So we'll quickly go to the last race, race 8, and as you can see here that we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got a 66% pot, and if we go to the early markets, and number 2 is the sub runner. At the moment, it's 460, so we couldn't take it. But we've got the 3, which is rated at 580, and it's basically 650. So and I'm doing this in case for the guys that want to bet early, bet and forget. You know what I mean? This is for this is what this exercise is for as well. You just need to make sure that you're not taking ridiculous prices when you've got these pots are so low. We've got the 9 at the moment. It's 420. So now we're really looking at a race now where if this was 5 minutes out or 3 or 4 minutes out, you really got to be looking at this race and going, what do I really want to be betting on this type of race? And then you look at the 10. You got it rated, and it's $8. So well, there's $10 there, so that's okay there. And then you've got the 12. So the 2 runners that I'm concerned about, let's just say if they were running 5 minutes out, would be the 3 and the 9. Okay, so in this type of instance, if this was 3 minutes out before race, I'd be really considering binning the race. All right, I just want to see more for the 3 and I want to see more for the 9. All right, now we can't include the 2 because it's obviously a runner that's a sub runner and it's well below price. So basically, all we're doing now is we're betting in a low pot race. Now we have to beat the 2. We have to beat the 2, and we've also got to beat the 7. Which is I wasn't overly fussed about the 7. That's the one runner that I wasn't overly fussed about. I was actually fussed more about the 11 than I was about the 7. So, again, the critical thing is that pot, right? That's an indicator of where the race is at, and then look at how many runners that I've dropped that are in the market before you actually want to start taking them on. Before you saying to yourself, is this a good betting race? Now, this is what I do when I'm sitting here and what I call navigating, but I want everybody to start getting into that habit of thinking about what the race is and read my notes. And, as I said, these runners on top, meeting will be aborted. It was a terrible meeting. We just just have to be patient. Now again, we got a really good winner in race 1, and we got a really good winner in race 3. So, sometimes I get it wrong, and sometimes I get it. Most of the times, I like to say that I get it right. But in this particular instance, at the moment, it's looking like I've got it wrong. But it happens. It's still early days. We might lose the next 4 races. I don't know. I wish I did, because it'd be the best thing on the planet if I had the crystal ball. But I don't have the crystal ball. So, I'm doing these talks more of an insight into how I bet and what I'm going through race by race. Especially Hong Kong or an international venue. The international venues are fairly difficult because the markets just change so rapidly and so quickly. And unfortunately, you have to sit in, you have to watch what you're doing, and you need to follow what all these bookmakers are doing. There's not that many that operate on Hong Kong. It's a shame that Betfair doesn't operate here anymore, but I think one day they might get it back. I don't know, but at the moment we're only really dealing with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 corporate, actually 8. So that's all that I have on my platform, and that's the Hong Kong meeting for tonight.